Executive and the Department of Internal Affairs reports, and that is not acceptable, Mr. Chair.
Chadwick.
Mr. Chair, I'll carry on from my colleague who started after lunch, but I believe in this Part 3, where we do outline, as the Minister and the Chair said, just the delegations of the Chief Archivist, the function of the Chief Archivist, the administrative matters. He made it look very prosaic and boring and bureaucratic, but actually what government obviously fails to get is the cultural impact on archives and the professionalism of the Chief Archivist and his role to both government and local government, central government and local government. The Chief Archivist is tasked with creating and monitoring the standards for record management, both paper and digital, in central and local government. This includes deciding, and this is a big power, what may be disposed of and how records are made public, are made open to the public. Now, we've already seen with the Minister and the Chair with his twink pen changing a Crown law opinion before he was prepared for the opposition to pick it up, how records can be, by stealth, dealt with, and this is funny that we're up to the public records section of the debate just when we witnessed that activity in the Chair, and saw how important the independence of the role of the Chief Archivist is. Public records should not be altered, and public has a right to access those records. Mr. Chair, I chaired the Health Select Committee inquiry into Agent Orange, and it was of great alarm to the Select Committee when we asked for Minister of Defence papers about where Agent Orange was used in Vietnam, and there were huge chunks of that public record simply missing, so annotated and then big gaps. That is of huge concern, especially in future when government is going to scrutiny activities of either the Crown or Crown entities to find that there has been obviously tampering or loss, and that's not good professional record keeping. So that's a critical role of the Chief Archivist, and that was one of the reasons why in 1990 this government in May lauded the new dawn for national archives. That was Marion Hobbs. She said, most people know that archives preserve historic documents fundamental to our existence as a nation, such as the Treaty of Waitangi, the women's suffrage petition, and also the work of the archives is directed at ensuring that a full and accurate record is kept throughout government. That is a critical function of archives, and here we are in this Part 3 seeing that even though there is a section in here about the in Clause 41 with a new clause about the Chief Archivist being able to act independently, for goodness sake, the Chief Archivist reports to the Chief Executive. The Chief Executive is under great financial pressure. How easy it is for the Chief Executive to exert his or her pressure on the Chief Archivist to cut corners, to not properly store and maintain that public record. And that's the danger of that lack of independence by the restructuring that happened after the Minister received his Crown Law opinion. So it was a real worry. It was also a real worry to us in the House to see the Minister twinking away. I found that deeply disturbing, and he's got the name now, Twinky Guy, and that's going to stick. It's going to stick forever. I've been twinking. Twink big. Talk about the Minister of Internal Affairs twinking big. You know, it's not going to go away. We're determined it won't go away. It becomes part of the legacy of this House of storytelling now.
He's a big twinker.
He's a big twinker. He is. You may think he's very prosaic and a solid performer, but the stealth with which he reached for that twink will go down in history as we enter the Public Records Part 3 of the State Sector Bill, which is anything other than boring. And that's why we're going to keep on with our pressure here And our colleague here, we're going to go to right up till Christmas. Our pressure here from our colleague here, Grant Robertson, who has some very good amendments that I really do hope that the Minister listens to. He's got an amendment here, Mr. Speaker.
Call Carol Beaumont.